Okay, so here's an example of a random number generator. Um, this is from chapter 2 of Beginning C++ by Dawson. And in this example, we're going to use a random number generator to simulate rolling a die. So let's see. So the first thing we have here that's a little different is this C standard. We're including C standard lib. That's the library that has the functions for generating random numbers. And we also have the C time because we're going to need this time function, which I'll talk about in a second. So the meat of the random number generation is this rand function right here. And this returns an integer between 0 and whatever the maximum value is. So let's say this will be a number between 0 and rand max. So there's actually a constant rand max that gives you the highest possible random number. And the reason they stick this in a constant is it can vary depending on your implementation of C++. But it's generally it's at least 32,767. Let's put that at least 32,767. Okay. So the way the random number generator works is there's this starting out value that we use to generate a series of numbers that look as if they're random, but of course they're not. It's being generated by a computer, right? So it's going to be, it has to be deterministic. We have a deterministic machine, right? But this starting value is known as a seed, and you can set the seed. The way that we take care of that problem of we don't want to go through the same sequence every time because then it's not going to look random anymore. So we use this srand function, which lets us set a different seed each time. We call the random, when we're getting ready to call the random number generator. So what we do is we use time. So here's our time function. So time 0 with an argument of 0 just gives us the current time, and srand sets the seed for the random number generator. So what we're doing here, there's this business here is a static cast unsigned int. What this does is you don't have to know all the details of this right now, but it casts the return, whatever gets returned from the time function gets cast into an unsigned int. So basically it takes the result from the time function and converts it into an unsigned int, and then srand uses that value to set the seed for the random number generator. Okay, so we've set our seed so that we get a different value every time we run this, a different starting value every time we run this program. We get our random number, and then we want to see what what value we got when we roll the die. So that's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, right? For the 6 face, if you're using a die with 6 faces. So what we do with that to get that, because what we've gotten is some great big number, or it could be 0, right? But we've gotten some number between 0 and rand max. We want to convert that to a number between 1 and 6. So what we do is we use this modulus or remainder operator to say take the random number, divide it by 6, and give me the remainder. So the remainder is going to be somewhere between 0 and 5, right? If we're dividing by 6, whatever number we take and divide it by 6, we're going to get some remainder between 0 and 5. We add 1 to that, and if all our numbers are between our integers between 0 and 5, if we add 1 to them, we'll get an integer that's between 1 and 6. Okay, and then we print out what we rolled. Let me stick in a system pause here. And let's try it. Say start debugging, yes. And it gives, I rolled a 6. So let's see what I roll the next time. I rolled a 5. Then I rolled a 3. Okay, so and if I roll enough times, I rolled a 5 again. It should look pretty random when I'm getting a 6. So if I did this like 100 times, there's a 1. I should get an even distribution of the numbers 1 through 6, right? Or more or less even. Okay, so that's how random number generators work.